What's up, everyone? You tuned in to another one. Now, WSL has opened us up here with, of course, my team, Manchester City Women versus the six-time champions, Chelsea. And this match ended up 2-1, where Chelsea had the edge here. But I just wanted to say this was a very harmonious match to be able to watch. And we were live during the match to be able to see if anything needed exposing. And what it was exposed to us was one, of course, Alyssa Thompson is a Chelsea family member. And they let the ladies, aka the Divine Feminine, express herself authentically. Now, I'm very grateful because this is the default of how football is supposed to be expressed. When you let the players play, the narratives and storylines naturally unfold for us in a harmonic way. We get to identify what archetypes came ready to play and what archetypes need to show up next time. In this one, I mean, the lineups were very different. For City, we had a Viviana Miedema, Lohman, and a Hasegawa midfield, which would never work out, obviously. And for Chelsea, of course, we didn't get to see Naomi play. Macario did come onto the field, but I was expecting to see some of the other players, but hey, Sam Kerr's back. But like I said, this match was really good. I enjoyed it because City have a new grid. As you all know, I've made multiple live streams about the reboot of Manchester City's grid with the signing of a Canadian fullback, Jade Rose, and of course the Switzerland sensation, Amin Binley. So we got to see that. We got to see both our girls today. Also, Blanket Brown came on, and I was really happy with the minutes that she got. Unfortunately, young Lily Murphy ended up hurting her shoulder, I believe. She wasn't able to walk off the pitch herself towards the end of the game. And yeah, that's unfortunate because it is the first match. And, she's a very young lady. And you want the players to be able to play and be healthy. So shout out to Lily. Hopefully she's going to be okay and maybe not be too serious to have you out for too long. You know what I'm saying? Because you're still a young lady. You still need to go out here and live your life. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the goals happen to be from Carpenter now is a Chelsea family member as well. I think they gave her player of the match. So when we talked about some of the matchup archetypes, it was Carpenter and Alex Greenwood was actually pushed over to her position as a left back. And she was exposed based upon her not being able to keep up with Carpenter. And at first, I thought it was Jade Rose and Alex in the center back positions, but actually it was Pryor and Jade. And that still is very youthful. We are still getting to know Jade, one match. And then Pryor, she had a lot of games last season, but she's a young lioness, man. She's not going to be instantaneous overnight. I mean, over one season. And then, of course, Kirsten and Alex, we could have played Rin Rother. We could have played Layla. But we got this, guy off the street in Sweden, and he's the manager. We saw a lot of shots from Bunny Shaw. I mean, they were attempting to get the ball to her. I thought maybe she almost had a couple chances. Even Hasegawa almost made a crazy back heel kick in the goal. But overall, if you think I'm going to ride Chelsea's wave, that is not going to happen. But the only thing I will say was thank you for allowing the ladies to play harmoniously because you didn't need any narratives for this game, and that's how it should be. Let the game organically unfold, and that's what I feel like we got to see. Of course, obviously, did y'all expect City to beat Chelsea without our Brazilian Caroline? She was our girl that was missing. We ain't forget about you, Caroline. We know we was missing you. We didn't have Fujino. We didn't have a couple players, Mary Fowler. So I mean, with the players that we did have, I'm very grateful that we got to see them. It was an opportunity to see how they did against Chelsea. And even though City didn't technically score any of the goals because Charles scored for us, they still played in a way that was much better than last year. And even Chelsea, the team that I saw, that team wasn't their A team, but I think City handled themselves very well. And Chelsea, like we said in the last videos, Chelsea is not looking to win the league again. Champions League is what they have to work towards. They got to develop their chemistry. But we'll see if that's actually going to work, especially when we see them play, the Champions League teams. And mainly, the Barças and the Lyons. And I still think City have one of the strongest, the second best squad compared to Chelsea, in my opinion. Um, we we're just gonna have to see how the season plays out for them. As we all know, City are not in the Champions League. It is their job, it is their duty to get back in positioning, and it's gonna be harder now that billionaire Michelle Kang is in the league with the London City Lionesses. So yeah. Once again, like I said, Viviana Miedema in the midfield is a no-go for City. We need to understand that that's never going to work out in our benefit, especially not against teams like Chelsea. Um, the two goals that were scored by Chelsea were pretty nice. The second one, she was wide open. The first one was a good cross across the line. But yeah, man, overall, I was very satisfied with this match. And may we have more matches like this for y'all, where the women just get to play football. And I think that we will. One, because they said all the games are going to be live. Most of them are going to be live. So people are going to be able to read the energies of the players, read the energies of the game, and more importantly, just enjoy football again. Because y'all lost a lot of currency based upon the lack of essence. And now that the league has brought in a lot more essence, you see how it's starting to ground itself already, even in the first match. The energy is different because the players are different, right? It's so beautiful to see the translation, artificial to harmonic. And this is the natural default state of our grid, of us in this world. Harmony, not chaoticness and distortion. So, yeah, I look forward to seeing Manchester City rise back to the top. This Manchester City team is going to be a lot more influential, obviously. And you see Lauren Hemp here, she started to be a lot more aggressive. She needed to be a lot more aggressive in the first half. We saw a lot of it come from Lily, and I challenged him. You have to be aggressive. We need you to be one of those players to rely on, especially when we don't have Caroline out on the pitch. You know what I'm saying? So, and I mean, Bentley came in, Blanket Brown came in, Layla came in. Who else? Loman did a pretty good job, and I'm happy for you, Loman. So I'm very excited for the Manchester City women's team this year. We're going to improve well. Overall, like I said, the energy of this match was very positive. And even though City didn't score personally, I do feel that the stories that will play out in this season are going to be very good, just based upon the new acquisitions that we have. We have a lot of young energy that wants to do well and help City get back in Champions League. And it's going to be up to some of the veterans, even Hemp, to be able to not only set the standard for some of her young Lioness teammates, but also put that into action on the field. Because there were some moments where she defaulted, and that just can't happen against teams like Chelsea. I do think Chelsea will be the team to beat, obviously, and I do think City have the squad to get that done. They have heavy hitters, but they need the heavy hitters to set this tempo so the younger ones can follow suit. And we're going to see how this all works out for everyone. Now, I'm not convinced with Arsenal yet, and London City Lionesses. I guess everyone's talking and looking at y'all. Will y'all be able to challenge Chelsea or Arsenal? Huh? We'll see. But anyways, that was the opener, man. Very harmonic match for Chelsea and Man City. And that's what you love to see. Deuces.